Peace and love. So today we are going to be discussing the planets that are within your birth chart, your natal chart, okay, regarding astrology, okay? Let's hop into this video. I'm unstoppable. I'm a forger with no brakes. I'm invincible. Alright, so the planets are going to be representing the energy in your life that represents the different aspects of self, okay? They deal with different parts of your personality, your behaviors, your life experiences in general, okay? So they're going to have an effect on different areas in your life when it comes to like your houses, okay? So we're just going to be talking and discussing each of the planets and what they mean, okay, and how to use them in your spiritual journey, okay? The sun, that represents your core identity, your core personality, your life's purpose, okay? The sun is your ego, your true self, okay? This is where you shine and express yourself authentically, okay? You're going to focus on aligning your actions with your higher self when it comes to, well, that's your higher self, your authentic self, okay, when it comes to mastering your sun sign, okay, and really practicing self-acceptance and that self-love, which really will enhance when you go through your sun cycle, okay, that we talked about in another video, where we talk about the 7 cycles that you go throughout the year, okay? And the sun is one of them. All right. Next, we have your moon. This is your introspective self, your subconscious, okay? This is actually the sign that is in your moon, is what's ruling your subconscious mind, okay? And this is ruling your instincts and your emotions, all right? And it governs like your inner needs and your emotional responses, okay? And to use this for your growth, we're going to cultivate emotional awareness, okay, through practices like meditation, yoga, journaling, okay, whatever it takes to really go within yourself, okay, and heal those emotional wounds. Okay, so we're going to talk about Mercury, which is ruling over your communication, okay? This is how you communicate and express yourself through communication. This is how your thought pattern works, okay? And it represents your intellect as well, okay? So we're going to practice mindfulness when we are communicating and when we are processing our thoughts, okay? And just be aware of any mental patterns that might lead you down spirals, or, you know, if we have any negative or overthinking thought patterns, we want to dismantle those and build up new, better ones and more positive paradigms within our brains, because our subconscious mind is very impressionable, okay? So whatever your subconscious mind is facing, well, your Mercury is going to communicate it, right? All right, so we're going to get into Venus. Venus represents your relationships, love, okay, and your values, okay? This is about, you know, the beauty, the love you see in the things around you, in your relationships. This is how you respond to your relationships. This is how you see your values and the harmony and pleasure within your life, okay? And the way to work on this, right, is to like deepen your ability to give and receive love, okay? Unconditionally at that, all right? You know, you need to make sure that you are paying attention to how you're operating with others in your dynamics, whether it be romantic or business or platonic or even soul tribe or family, you know, however, you know, whatever like whatever connections or dynamics you have, you just want to be consciously aware of how you're interacting with them, okay? And like develop and work on that self-love, which we talked about, and then cultivating relationships that nourish your spirit of that transformation, okay? You don't want to be in any relationships that are going to hold you back or not let you grow, okay? Okay, so we're going to be talking about Mars, and Mars is going to be your ambitions, your desires, how you assert yourself in the world, okay? And this is how you just your physical energy, you know, your just how you come off, okay, to the rest of the world, okay? And so we want to make sure we're channeling that energy of Mars, okay, into higher energy, okay, with higher goals, okay, to keep us on track, all right, with our spiritual values, and rather than acting out of that impulse and that rage and frustration, right? Okay, we need to make sure we're teaching ourselves how to take action with purpose and not just running into situations, okay? Next, we have our planet Jupiter. Jupiter is about the expansion, wisdom, and faith, okay? So this planet has to deal with your spiritual growth, your philosophy, okay? And has ties to like abundance and optimism and learning, right? And we master this one by embracing the ability to learn and indulge in new adventures, right? Okay, so we are encouraged to expand our horizons because we don't know everything, right? And it is okay for us to admit that we do not know everything, okay? Both mentally and spiritually, okay? All right, and you must seek wisdom, whether it's traveling to, you know, another town across the world, seeking higher education, okay, and new spiritual practices that will foster abundance and the interconnectedness with the rest of the world, okay? Next, we have Saturn, okay? Saturn is about your self-discipline, knowing your limits, knowing what's best for you, okay? These are your life lessons, right? During your Saturn cycle, if you're not listening to the divine and your intuition when it's telling you that you need a break, maybe it's going to be you looking hard-headed in life lessons doing that, okay? So if you heed the warnings, all right, you would have to learn to embrace that life comes with hardships, life comes with limitations, and we cannot do it all. God, universe can do it all, but we cannot, okay? All right, so the Saturn encourages to have patience with one another, with the things going on in our realities, because, you know, they're not gonna last always, okay? Having that discipline and that resilience, okay? Having that, what's the word? Endurance, okay? When it comes to these things that might knock you down, but you just gotta get back up, okay? All right, the next planet we are going to discuss is Uranus, and Uranus is about challenging change, okay? This is about innovation and freedom. So in Uranus, this is the planet that's going to be having you feel your most rebellious, okay? It's going to be sudden sporadic changes in your life, okay? It has to break old paradigms to shift to new paradigms. It's just the energy of Uranus, okay? All right, so you have to embrace your personal freedom with this cycle. Well, I want to say cycle, it's not one of the cycles, but when you figure out where your Uranus is in your chart and everything, you're gonna have to, during this time period, whenever the stars align in this way to mastery, you're just going to have to allow for personal freedom, okay? And be open to some radical changes, because maybe sometimes you need to just spruce it up a little bit, right? And so this is going to have you questioning traditional systems, okay, and expressing your truth in unconventional ways, because you should always be you and never be afraid to be you, right? Okay, so the next one we have is Neptune, which is about your dreams, okay, your imaginations, all right, your spirituality, okay. This is about your intuition, all right. These are like illusions, okay. So this like is you connected to your higher self, to the divine, to the you know, inner vision, which is your third eye, okay. So in order to, you know, master this Neptune, right, you want to have that deep connection with God, universe. You want to have that deep connection and trust with the divine, with your spirit, with the divine, and with your intuition, right? You want to be able to trust your intuition, and you want to be able to trust that your subconscious mind that has a direct link to God, universe, is going to be telling you the right things, the right way, and the right path, so that you can follow those, trusting your intuition, right? So embracing the practices like meditation, okay, prayer, all right, artistic expression, all right, and really tapping in to your higher self will help you to like get a good grounding when it comes to your Neptune. Okay, so last but not least, we're going to be talking about Pluto, okay? And Pluto is the self-mastery planet, right? This is your transformation and your power-centered planet, okay? So with Pluto, this is that going into the deep psychological processes, okay, and it rules over the rebirth process. That's why I say this is going into your self-mastery, okay, because you have to let go and you have to embrace the cycle of life and death, okay, because when you're being reborn, you have to go through an ego death to go through a rebirth, right? Okay, all right, and the ways to really master your Pluto is to encourage evolution, encourage transformation, encourage the growth that you'll go through during this journey, because this journey you'll never stop learning, you'll never stop growing, right? So you have to encourage those things, and you have to face your shadows, face your healing, like, and heal deep emotional wounds, all right? So like let go of past habits and patterns that were keeping you back, right? You have to truly allow yourself to transform into the divine being that you are always meant to be, okay? So that was our discussion on the planets that are within your astrological birth chart, okay? And if you still haven't looked up your birth chart yet, and you still haven't tried to find a good version, I'll actually going to link a version that you can use that is credible and you know, pretty good. So we're going to link that down below so that you guys have that, so you can look up your birth chart. And remember, you do need the time with your birth chart, and you need to know exactly where you were born, when, where, all the good details, okay? Because this, where the stars aligned, is important, okay? All right. And remember, we speak love, justice, and peace. Y'all have a blessed day. Amen.